let's slightly expand this concept of storytelling and its impact on the businesses.
Sure.
So one part obviously is about, your first customer in this case is an investor who comes in, put in money to you, but that's not where the story ends. That's where the story begins. A good storytelling, once understood, can have impact on multiple other areas.
Absolutely.
Your experience around that impact that could have in building an organization.
Oh yes, you have to do storytelling all the day, right? So what gets you to attract the top talent, right? So why should somebody who's credible join you versus the next opportunity?
Yes.
Why should people continue to believe in what you're doing, right? Business building is a tough ask, you know it, right? You will have, constant bad news coming from all around, right? The good news are far fewer and in between, but bad news comes quite regularly, right? How do you ensure everybody stays motivated? Right? You have to kind of tell them a story, give them a vision, right? So again, famously Steve Jobs, right? So all big businessmen and founders, leaders, eventually become good storytellers where they are able to summarize things, bring down the chaos that there is in the real world, and help people to see through a simple or simpler looking path to where you want to be.
So effectively, if one can cut through the noise, look at the thing which actually matters, pack it up in the form of a very clean message, that helps.
Absolutely.
That helps finding a good talent. That helps finding
Keeping that talent.
Keeping good talent. I think that's something which is the most important bit actually.
Absolutely.
Right. So got it. Taking it to the next level then is it just about the startups only? Here in India, we are now talking about one big section which is about finding, new ways to do the business, which is about in and around startup. But then there is a big mid-sized business that has bloomed over last few years.
Yeah.
And with economy growing like anything, it would have a direct impact in there.
Sure.
And interestingly, that is one area wherein the structure, so to say, even for that matter, an equity raise or others, is just not available. Yes, SME IPO is a way,
Sure.
but it is still something which is largely uncatered to.
Correct.
How do you think a nice storytelling thought process help them through the journey, scaling it to probably the next level? Because in our experiences at FinSQ, at Zotto, what we've seen most of the times is businesses, homegrown businesses, which are family run, get stuck at a particular stage.
Yeah.
There is one, stage of revenue that they have reached. They're doing good. There is high potential, but they are stuck. Now they're stuck because of multiple reasons. It could be because of funds. It could be because of talent, as you said.
Sure.
The thought process that you apply for the startups, the same thought process applied to them. How could it have an impact on them?
See, it is, my sense is it's very similar for them as well. Now, there are 2-3 ways that it works, right? When you are able to articulate yourself and tell a simple story, you will find investors, for example. So you might have more private equity players rather than VCs. You will find the partners as well, right? So you go and want to probably expand a business, right? Get into a new geography, get into a new segment. All of that requires you to have the right kind of partnerships. What will allow you to have these partnerships? So they will also come at the credibility of the founder or the business leaders that there are, right? And do they need a story? Yes. Can they sound and demonstrate more credibility by being better at storytelling? Absolutely. So those are few things which will work for them. And of course, if you go for IPO, then of course you have to do that as well. When you sell to customers, you need to do that again. So at any point of time, if you are able to articulate and give a good story, create a great vision, will you be at an advantageous position to the next guy who can't do it? Everything else being same? Absolutely.
But one thing that I've noticed in here is that at times it's just not about storytelling, it's also
Correct.
about having a vision or clearing that vision. So somebody who's could be called as a chief storytelling officer, if you could come up, hear the story and say that you're doing great in all of these aspects, but there is that 10% that you just talked about. This
Yeah.
is something which matters. Why can't you just look at that?
Yeah.
Why can't you start exploring a private equity kind of a setup?
Yeah.
The business structure changing from this to that
Correct.
might be able to help you scale better.
Yeah.
And hence, probably it is just not about storytelling, it is about somebody who could be a mentor, who understands
Sure.
the
Sure.
the business,
Sure.
looks at it from a 5,000 feet height, and then probably help you create that narrative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, and I think it also has real value, wherein even the promoter or the founder, they themselves can look at it from a fresh pair of eyes, because again they are caught up in the everyday grunt
Yeah.
of the work, and you are not able to see through what really are the extension opportunities that are lying there, but are kind of not visible to you because you are too busy doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
So that is also a challenge. So I think every business leader needs a mentor. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Somebody that you can trust, somebody you can respect. That's very important, because if you don't do that, you will not
You'll not
listen.
hear him.
You'll not hear him. Right? It can't be a job.
It can't be a job. Right?
It can't be a job. There's somebody that you speak to, and kind of, you don't have to agree with them every day. You actually should not, right? You don't have to, kind of follow what they are saying, but see if they can give you a new perspective. And I think even mentors need mentors,
Oh yes, yes.
right? So everybody needs mentors.
I am with you. Since our training days, we've one thing that we have always seen and observed is that in a room full of an entrepreneur and a consultant and an employee, the most wisest person is the entrepreneur. You might as well see that consultant has 10 different advices to give, but it's ultimately the entrepreneur who's gonna act on it and own the responsibility of it, and it has to be
Yeah.
he has to be the wisest one
Yeah.
amongst everybody for that.